Hey guys, today we're looking at one of the longest, the largest, and probably the most luxurious EVs to hit Singapore to date. This is the Mercedes-EQ EQS. Buy or sell your car now with CarBuyer Singapore. And remember to check out the latest automotive content with us. Okay, the most important thing you need to know about the EQS is that there are two models on sale in Singapore. One is the EQS 450 Plus and the other is the AMG model, the 53 Plus 4MATIC. Now we've got pricing on both of those cars right here. So what is the EQS? Well, Kim actually did a walkthrough of the EQS in this place. Check out that video first and tells you all you need to know about the car, and then come back here to get the full story. Okay, one of the more important things you need to know about the EQS is that this actually debuts Mercedes-Benz's totally new electric car platform, which is called EVA. Now this platform will be seen on this car, the EQS SUV, the EQE, as well as the EQE SUV, and probably a lot more EQ cars to come. And another really cool thing about this car is the fact that it's really slippery. And I don't mean you can drift in it, but the coefficient of drag is a measly 0.2. Now that is very, very low for a production car. And that's one of the reasons why these cars have extremely high ranges. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But continue on to styling. Of course, the styling of this car might be familiar because we've seen it on the EQA and the EQC before. Very closed off, very smooth front end. So I like the little Mercedes star motifs here. But of course, you guys also want to look at the AMG model. So come over here. And the interesting thing about this car is that, kind of like Audi's e-tron GT, the cars actually look quite similar. This one, of course, has the AMG typical vertical slats, but you see that the AMG grimace, this part right here, is kind of the same on both cars. So they actually look quite similar. There's no like widened fenders or anything. What do you guys think? Do you think that an AMG should look extra aggro even if it's an EV? Let us know in the comments. Okay, I'm just going to draw up the specs for both cars for you to see. And of course, the standout figures are with the AMG model, which has 660 horsepower and more than 1,000 Newton meters of torque. So Julian is going to love, driving people around with milkshakes in their face in this car, if we get to test it eventually. Of course, now that I've said it, they might not let us test it. Okay, but the interesting thing about the EQS, really, where it really changes the game, or pushes forward the game, is, I think, in range. Now, the EQS 450 has a range WLTP quoted of 762 kilometers, which is pretty crazy. The AMG model, which is more powerful, around 500 plus Ks, but I think they might actually do quite well, and that's because they got more than 100 kilowatts of battery capacity on board. The charging times are quite typical with 200 kilowatt fast charging, but of course with a battery that big, you're going to charge it at home on an 11 kilowatt charger, probably take you about 10 to 11 hours. Okay, we're inside the AMG EQS, and of course what everybody wants to know is about the Hyperscreen. Now the Hyperscreen is standard on this car. It's a $38,000 option on the other car, so keep that in mind if you have your eyes on this thing. But okay, a few figures right here. This is one piece of Gorilla Glass. It's 141 centimeters wide. That's almost as wide as the Daihatsu freaking Copen. And yeah, it's something like 2,000 plus square centimeters of glass. So it's made up of three separate screens, two OLED screens. These two are OLED screens, touch screens. This is the driver's display, 12.3 inch. You can't touch this. Whoa, can't touch this. Okay, but this is the central screen, more than, if I'm not wrong, 17 inches. And there are something like more than 10 haptic motors for haptic feedback and touch and all that stuff. So Mercedes MBUX, voice control, advanced functions for everything, linking up your phone, all that stuff. But of course, this is the more interesting part. This is the passenger's screen. So I need a warm body to sit in the seat before they'll activate it, I think for safety reasons. Warm body, can you sit here, please?
Oh man, here we go.
Cool.
What do you have for me?
Is it cool? What do you think of it? It's cool.
It's big.
Yeah.
It's big.
See, you can turn it on now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you can diddle the media. Actually, what else can you do? You can watch TV. I know.
Can watch TV. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing good on TV these days, so screw that. I'm just gonna play around with all this.
Yeah. Okay. So you have your own screen. I have mine. Is it
useful? If you're not watching TV?
I think it's more like it's not really for me.
Right.
It's so I don't disturb the driver.
Oh,
I think maybe that's
okay.
it, right? Like,
Hey, go away, this is my screen. Get your own
well,
screen.
no, what you have, I want as well. So,
No, I want AMG
yeah, look,
performance.
navigation.
Oh, wow. So useful.
So we could double up our screens, but again, originally this
Yeah.
is so I don't disturb you, right? Like you
Right,
could have your
right.
navigation here,
Yeah.
and I can have this here. I
Okay.
guess that kind of makes sense. I feel special though. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm sure you have to spend extra money on this too, so that I could feel involved as
I mean,
well.
when it comes to like screens and lights, really Mercedes does it better than almost everybody else. I mean, look at the drama going on here.
yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
the usefulness is kind of almost secondary here. It's just
Well,
really cool looking, right?
The other thing is everything's really smooth. Like the graphics render smoothly.
Right, yeah,
and,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
There's
yeah,
none of
yeah.
that latency or hesitation.
No.
which-
So like we saw in the S-Class, this is all underpinned by new graphics, new CPU, and it probably, you know, you can probably run Doom on this easily. Doom
Okay.
Eternal.
Well,
Okay.
whatever it is, the bigger the better.
Okay, so it's really cool. And I'm going to show you guys the rest of the interior right now. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys the rest of the interior of the EQS. This is the AMG model, obviously. So we have an AMG Sport steering wheel. We have lots of carbon fiber here. You can't miss the red highlighting, of course, going all the way down the side here. Really, really dramatic. One of the things that Mercedes is really good at. And I'm going to start this car up now. This is a really cool sound. Wow, how Tron is that, man? This is really cool. So because this is the AMG model, we have the special sport steering wheel, and of course we've seen these controls on previous AMG cars. Very, very useful. Two little displays right there. You can switch to sport mode. As you can see, this also changes up Sport Plus, and you can diddle all your settings for the suspension and the sound as well. So obviously we can't drive now, you can't hear the sound, but this is really dramatic and really cool. So I can even select AMG Dynamics, which is just the overall dynamics control system, which links everything together, traction control, ESP, everything. I can turn TC off, but I don't think I want to do that with 1,000 Newton meters of torque. And of course, once you guys have soaked in all the drama here, the EQS is a luxury sedan, a luxury limousine. So let's go try out the seat in the back as well. Okay, back seat of the EQS. Great legroom because the car really is quite long. Of course, naturally it's an EV, so the wheelbase is a little bit longer. Packaging is easier for EVs, and I don't have that super high knees effect, you know, because all EVs have the battery in the floor. So some EVs, you know, you have that kind of feeling where your knees are in the air. But the EQS not so bad. It could be a little bit better, but you know, not bad. And there is a price to pay for that really aerodynamic styling. The headroom isn't a whole lot. I'm not particularly tall, by the way, so yeah, I'm only 1.73 meters tall, so a little bit short on the headroom in the back. But you know, overall, I think there's really quite a lot of space here. I think 3 adults would fit no problem in the EQS. Okay, so that's our little walkthrough of the Mercedes-EQ EQS 450 and AMG 53. If you like this video, please like it, and please stay tuned for our review of this car, a very exciting car, the most luxurious EV to hit Singapore to date. Let us know what you think of it in the comments.